Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day to Aaron.
Good day. Good day to my honorable teachers and to all my lovely friends. So I feel very grateful today to be given a chance to have a presentation right here in order to fulfill my assignment on professional speaking lesson lectured by our mentor Sir Satria Agus. So for today's presentations, I would like to present about an interesting materials with the title "How to Organize Ideas in Writing." All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, guys, I just make it simple. So here is the outline of my presentations, everyone. I actually just re-explain about how Ma'am Dewi Nopita had taught us in the past semester on her basics writing class, guys. The first one I would like to explain is about paragraph structure. Of course, we learn about this material first, paragraph structure. In the paragraph structures consists topic sentence, supporting sentence, and then concluding sentence, guys. And then we have organizing ideas by different frameworks. Frameworks means order, guys. The first order I would like to explain is chronological order, logical order, climatic, racial. All right, let's go to the main topic. All right, let's go to the next slide. Nice. For everyone, before we dive into various types of order, I think it is good for us to recollect our first lesson on studying the art of the writing. Knowing about the paragraph structure, guys, this is really nothing to do with the frameworks, but it is still one of the learning material that had been taught by our ma'am, right? So, same as the other type of writing, paragraph is follow standard rules of three-part structure. So the first part is start at the beginning, and then the second in the middle, and then the last part is on the last. So this part, namely topic sentence, supporting sentence, and concluding sentence, guys. So topic sentence, also known as the leader of the paragraph, is the part where the main idea is explained. What is the main paragraph about? We shouldn't reveal too much about our main paragraph. We shouldn't reveal too much about our idea in main paragraph. So the reader should figure out what is the idea of the topic sentence by their own. So the thing we should do for the reader is to prepare a good paragraph for the rest of the sentence by stating clearly what is our topic will be discussed. So the main topic is not for explaining everything for the reader, but it is, so the main topic is rather to just explain about, not explain, but just to picture about our ideas, guys. Now let's go to the supporting sentence, guys. Supporting sentence, also known as the development paragraph. The development, oh yeah, of course, the development paragraph. Sorry, my bad. The development sentence, it acts as a body of the paragraph, guys. So this part is the longest one between the three because it is content and explanations about gas. The development part of the sentence elaborate the idea with the details that are too specific for the topic sentence. So the topic sentence cannot explain everything. They only can explain about our sketch of ideas. Could explain about our idea because it is the body of the paragraph, the content, and it has a lot more chance to explain about our ideas in the following paragraph. So while supporting part, so like I said before, still this. While like I said before, supporting paragraph is also development. The things I explained just now is the development part, but supporting sentence, the supporting part is just to support the sentence by providing evidence, opinion, or the statements to back up that we confirm about the paragraph's main idea. So the paragraph has supporting sentence, but it is also known as development. Yeah, usually it contains about paragraph development, but at the end it will be a supporting sentence where it supports our statement just now. Last one is conclusion idea. So for all of the ideas that have been explained to the supportings and topic or development sentence will be wrapped one into a single conclusion, which the reader will find it on the conclusion ideas. So sometimes there will be a summarize that presented on the paragraph, and sometimes there also a transitioning to the next incoming paragraph. That's what concluding paragraph is. Sometimes it just trying to conclude our thought, our ideas, but sometimes it will be a transitions to go to the next incoming paragraph. So the content of conclusion sentence will be different than the type of paragraph itself. Well, it is often acceptable to end a paragraph with a final piece of word to support the concluding stuff, then summarize it. So concluding sentence usually about the summary of the paragraph at the last of the paragraph, usually just to support the ideas, the development of the paragraph, or even transitioning to the next paragraph. But for some cases, it just conclude everything that has been explained to the writers to end the story. So the next chapter would be fresh. Okay. Now, organizing ideas by different frameworks. Now let's go to the main cuisine, guys. This is the main activity. Guys, remember when we are having a good old times in semester 3, learning about how to organize a good paragraph using various order, right? You guys remember, right? I think that one subject is such a pain in the eyes, guys. But fortunately, that learning we have is one of the very useful in my opinions. Because why? But before, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Because I think at this fourth semester, we just learned about how to write an essay in essay writings lesson lectured by Sir Gatot, yeah. Sorry. So essay writing is just another sequel of basic writings that we meet on the fourth semester, in my point of view, and the fun will never end. So when we are studying the basic writing in the last semester with ma'am, we have taught by ma'am with so many orders to organize our ideas in our paragraph, and we realized that we learn with ma'am, we just through an eternal loop. We just going through a circle where ma'am gave us a material and the title, then we search on the internet, and then we make the presentation, and so on. Yeah, so on until the exam comes. And I think I want to recollect what we have learned, to recollect all the orders and presented here to you guys. Chronological order. So chronological order is one of the very common way to organize ideas as a writer or storyteller that basically involve dishing out ideas or details in order of time. So this is a time order in the terms of basic writings. So this order is usually being used in expositionary writing, for example, a narrative, or informs or explains about something particular in describing an event or series of the events. Okay. For example, think about when we were still a kid and trying to explain to our teacher about what are we going to do with our friends after class during the break. We will describe the event carefully and in order, right? Because that's how we make sure that our listener or our teacher understand about the context and detail of the narrative. And about the transitions word we usually use in chronological order or time order are some commonly used in transitional words, very common, like first, then, next, last, finally, and etc. guys. All right, let's go to the next slide, please, reader. Logical order. A logical order is exactly what it sounds like. This order is used to avoid confusion to the reader, simply because your paragraph content is just too complex and complicated to understand. You explain the thing you should explain first, and then the rest will follow. You could use it when you realize you will have to organize about your ideas where the readers need to understand one point before being capable of understand the next. Yeah, for example, before talking about this is a point, this is a view of the students, about the teacher. Before talking to my students about Robert Frost's famous poem about decisions, the road not taken, you guys can search on the internet about the poem route not taken, right, wrote by Robert Frost. I told them about the story about the biggest decisions I had made thus far in my life. So they were able to take the logical leap to understand about the true nature of the poem after hearing about my process in the decision making. And then about the transition word or phrases that we use in this logical order, like we should understand, and then keeping in mind while I explain, and then remember when I said, and yeah, so on. All right, climatic order. All right, let's go to the next slide, where the climatic order. Okay, climatic order in general for the easier explanations is you just simply keep the best part for the last piece of the writing. So we keep the most interesting part for last. That's what the climatic order is. Well, you guys could use this order when you want to build an excitement in our writing or our paragraph to emphasize one point as the pinnacle of the piece. Well, it is often used as persuasive essay, such as argument to winners, and then ranking or listing of things, or illustration of major problem and usable solutions. Well, for the example of this order is when we are proving that our landlord need to fix the plumbing in the bathroom, we have some problem with the pipe in our bathroom. We may start with the assessment of dripping tap to the waste of hot water in the leaking shower, and then landing to the punchline of the toilet being blocked up. Wow, there's no other thing that worser than toilet being blocked up, right? Leaving that the final as the most awful point to resonate with your readers, with our readers or our listener, to add more weight to the other points, so that we'll keep it in mind in the forehand. About the transitional words that we are that been used as a climatic order in climatic order, not sorry. First of all, more importantly, just as importantly, finally, and ETCS. All right, let's go to the next slide. Now, random order. So random order is just as it sounds like. Yeah, seems like what I said before. I'm sorry, I forgot. It is very random order. This just shouldn't be called an order, but it allows us to our ideas based on a whim and whimsy more thing than any specific or logical progressions. Well, we could organize our ideas this way when our points all have equals value or importance and can sit independently in one another in my context. So random order is very random order, guys, which is you could use. Let me explain about where we should use it. So random order usually used when our paragraph have all equals idea in value. So if your ideas, all of them are more important, so just state wherever you think the most important is. Just write what do you think the most important in your opinion, in your personal opinions. So that one will be called random order. Well, for example, this one doesn't happen often, but I still have to explain about to you guys anyway. So all of this way to organize idea have the same value and need no chronological or logical order to make them clear. So just explain to your point which you think you should point first. And then the transitional words. The transitional words of random order is use associations of ideas between points to transitions from one text to the next, rather than stock up the transition steps. I don't really understand about this, but yeah, this should carry on, guys. All right, let's go to the next slide. All right, okay. Special order. So special order is describing a scene as things are arranged in the physical space, either by moving from one detail to the next, or as viewed from one stationary vantage point. We could use this whenever we feel suitable. We could use it whenever we want the readers to visualize a space, or if we want to evoke a scene using the sense. We could use this. In arrangement to organize our ideas when we were describing a workspace, descriptions of a place or product. It's also a great way to slow down a story when it is getting extremely intense. And if we just add little pacing, suspense like taking page 2, a point of view, descriptions of the settings in the moment, guys. Well, the traditional words that usually used in special order is something that usually used to positions about a thing, like to the left, to the right, behind, across, from, rising out, to the north, to the south, etc. Also, a little further, or a few centimeter, inches, meters, feet, basically for all prepositions. Right, done. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, I think it's done. All right, everyone. I think that's all about my presentations. So, has anyone come up with the questions? Imam, do you have any questions to me, Imam? Oh, Imam.
All right, I think I have one.
Oh, yeah.
So in the material of basic writing, we learn.
You already write the questions.
Nice. With mem before. There's an order named comparison and contrast, which you don't put it on your list. I just wonder why.
Okay, bro. Well, yes, there is an order of comparison and contrast in our basic writing subject, and I do remember that Mem taught us, Imam. Yes, and the reason why I don't put it in the presentation just simply sorry guys, I comparison and contrast order, guys. I think this presentation is still not complete because comparison and contrast order still not isn't it here? Yeah, that's what I want to say. Hope you guys understand. And if you ask me about the order of comparison and contrast, well, I think I could only explain it only a little, guys, because I don't really remember it either, the order of comparison and contrast. But the thing that I remember about comparison and contrast is it is a framework that we use if we want to compare a thing or more in a different point in our writing. So a paragraph that usually used in this order will always explain about one property of something, and then it will compare it to another without focusing. Of course, it is without focusing the bad thing, the disadvantage, to choose which is better or which is the best. And then, so when we are having a presentations on basics writings, I once make about the paragraph which compare in our first president Insinyur Soekarno with Muhammad Hatta. I used to compare them. So I tell that Insinyur Soekarno is a high-spirited man, while Muhammad Hatta is more calm and gentle in talking. While Insinyur Soekarno loves having a speech and talking in front of the crowd, Muhammad, in contrast, Muhammad Hatta is more. Muhammad Hatta choosing to stay calm and don't want to talk if he doesn't have to. So I compare two of them. Without stating which one better and which one is the best. And I don't make one look bad from the other one. I just compare them in the good side of the two. About the transitions order I use is, it is very common, like while, in contrast, both, and etc, guys. I think that's all I could answer about your questions, Imam. Thank you for asking. So, anyone have these questions except Imam?
Oh, all right. Thank you for the explanation. Aaron.
Yeah, Imam. Right. No one has questions? Lead.
I don't have any question,
Alright.
brother.
Nice. Thank you very much.
It's all
Bye, guys.
clear,
I think
Aaron.
if there, thank you, Devi. Alright, guys. I think if there is no more any questions, I hope you guys understand. Thank you for the attentions, everyone. I hope you guys enjoy. That is the most important things. You guys enjoy my presentation. Well, I think it is the closing to us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And have a nice day, everyone. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh. Have a nice day too.